Hello, this is Eric Alfaro Productions, and it's finally here. The questions and answers video that I announced almost a week ago, or about a week ago. Well, anyway, it was in the announced that in commemoration of the 1,000 subscribers, I would be doing Q&A. So, and thank you for submitting all your questions. You will all be mentioned in this video as well. Whoever asked the question will be giving a shout out along with it. And also, if you do not ask a question but you requested just a shout out, you will also receive a shout out as well. So with that being said, let's get started. Oh yeah, and once again, thanks for 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. Thank you for everyone who supported this channel up to this day, and thank you very much. And I don't know what there's much to say about that. I can't thank you guys enough for that. I could definitely say it's been a long. I've been going through a long ways to get here. So thank you very much, guys. So, without further ado, we will start the Q&A video. So, the first question comes from Jawtooth. Shout out to Jawtooth. He asks, what are your top 5 favorite Railfan YouTube channels and why? And if I can't, then just make it my top 3. Okay. So this is a very hard one for me. Because there's a lot of good Railfanning channels out there, and there's a lot of them who I'm subscribed to. There's a lot of channels who I really like. It's really hard to narrow it down, but alright. So I'll try to do top 5. I think top 5 is better. So we'll say the top 5 for me are Crossing Railfan Cow 96 Productions, Train Productions by ILF ST78 35, Snuffy's Cat Productions, I do like Jawtooth also. I like Millennium Force and Coaster Fan 2105 videos. I would say those are my top 5. So yeah, those are my top 5 Railfan YouTube channels. Of course, they're not the only ones who I like. But they're like, I would say, my top 5. There's a lot more that I like to watch as well, like Millennium Force and Alex the Railfanny Redneck, and a lot more. So thank you for your question, Jawtooth. Let's see. Let me just find the next question. Sorry, it's just taking a little bit of time to load. Okay. Alright. The next question comes from Joe Don. Shout out to Joe Don. He asks, do you plan to work with the railroad in the future? And if so, what company? Well, no, I'm not planning on working for the railroad in the future. I've considered it, but I'm mainly looking for a job in architecture but if I did go to work for a railroad, it would have to be with either I would say Pacific Harbor Line, Union Pacific, or BNSF. If I lived in the East Coast, it would be probably CSX in Norfolk or Norfolk Southern. But yeah, Thank you for your question, Jodan. And the next question from 99 Carnot. Shout out to 99 Carnot. He asks, how did you get interested in railroads? So that's kind of a long story. I first got, well, my earliest memory with the railroad was back in 2006. I remember when I would cross Exposition Boulevard around Crenshaw Boulevard, Crenshaw and Exposition. They would have there was the Harbor Belt line, but it was already abandoned and unused. It was taken down later on, replaced with the Expo line by Los Angeles Metropolitan Transportation Authority. But in 2006, I remember I went to Wilmington, and I did see some trains, but wasn't too interested back then. It wasn't until 2013, and it was around March 2013 when I finally had another trip to Wilmington. Well, I'm pretty sure I had more trips before that, but until then, March 2013, I finally started noticing the railroads. I was leaving the area when I saw that train crossing at one of the crossings in Wilmington. I thought to myself, it's it was very cool to see that train, hear its horn, and see the railroad crossing signals, and hear the bells ringing. Yeah, and I was pretty interested in that. I found it to appeal to me, and so later on I started to, as I got more interested into trains, I decided to get onto YouTube and I decided to type in train videos, and I wasn't expecting to find much, but I was surprised to find there were a bunch of people who actually are into the railroad. And so then in June that year, 2013, I decided to make my first train video. I made it in Long Beach, California, and it's the first video I made. It's also the first video I posted of this channel. It's called first video on YouTube, train on July 22nd, 2013. If you want to check it out, just type the name in the search bar. At the time, I didn't have proper recording equipment, and I actually filmed it with my laptop. Yeah, my laptop's camera, and the quality wasn't so good. So, but again, it was my first video, so and then ever since then, I made train videos. Basically, I did have a cassette camcorder during the summer and fall of 2013, which I filmed trains with, but unfortunately I don't have the software to transfer the videos from my cassette camera, which was it's a Sony camera, into this computer. So, which I'm pretty sad because I had some really good footage. I had some footage of a Ferromex unit I caught, and Ferromex is a railway company of Mexico, and I saw one of their locomotives here at Watson Yard, and I had footage of a railroad crossing that you guys haven't seen yet, in my videos yet. I'm pretty sad I can't really rescue them, but if I can, I'll try to do that in the future. But yeah, when I was like at the beginning of my YouTube channel, the second video onward was filmed with my HD Samsung camera, which I bought in January 2014. However, there were starting 2015, like there were times where I didn't take my HD camera but I did have my phone to film the train, so that's when I started making videos with my phone. and then as for the mix of plane spotting and other traveling videos I made, those were either requested or I decided to make them based on other channels' interests. Like for example, 99 Karna, he's a plane spotter, and I was inspired by him to create my plane spotting series. Um, so yeah, thank you very much for your question, 99 Karna. I hope it gives you like a little bit of insight. If why I'm interested in railroads. Um, so let's see. Guys, I got a shout out request from Josh's Aviation Plane Spotting. Again, that's a shout out to Josh's Aviation Plane Spotting. Thank you for requesting shout out. Next question is from Ralph and Kyle. Shout out to Ralph and Kyle. He asks, what is my favorite locomotive style? If I am a sports fan, if I am excited for Union Pacific 4014, and if we can have a shout out. Well, first of all, yes, you can obviously have a shout out, and I just give you a shout out. My favorite locomotive style would have to be the GP60M. I really like the sound of their motor. They tend to have very nice horns. And overall, they're a pretty nice model and appearance as well. Especially in the Santa Fe Warp Bonnet colors. I really like them. I do have more favorites. It's not just the GP60M, but I really like the GP60M. So I also like the SD78, the SD59MX. I like some of the gensets from Union Pacific. Lots more. As for sports, yeah, sure. I like soccer. I usually like watch Barcelona team, and I usually watch the World Cup when they play. I vote for USA and El Salvador and some of my other favorite countries as well. So, as for Union Pacific 4014, haven't really heard much on it, so I don't know if I can answer your question, but if it's news about 4014 being restored, yes, I'm definitely excited about that. I would like to see 4014 restored and functioning. That's pretty much I could say about it. So thank you for your questions, Ralph and Kyle. Next question by Cindy Miller. Her question is, did I go to a railroad museum before? And if so, what interesting things did I see? No, I had not been to a railroad museum before. Well, to clarify, I've passed by a railroad museum, but I've never been inside one. While passing the railroad museum, I saw Union Pacific caboose. They also have like some artifacts from the Union Pacific Railroad and other railroads in the past. They also have this active railroad line that it's like a passenger railroad line that takes you around the museum and gives you a tour of the museum. And at the far end of the museum, they have some old steam locomotives with passenger cars hooked up to them. They're not usable, but they're there if you want to see the insides of steam engines. I hope to go to the museum inside the museum soon and make a video of it. My closest museum is located in the Griffith Park area of Los Angeles. Griffith Park area, it's close to the LA Zoo, so I'll have to go sometime. Thank you for your question, Cindy Muller. Next question is from Rain Regine. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, Rain Regine. Shout out to her. Her question is, In your videos, there are so many trains. Where do you live? Or, where is the majority of the trains that you film are from? To answer the first question, I live in the city of Los Angeles in California. And yeah, there's lots of railroads. There's a lot of railroad action here in Los Angeles. The majority of train videos I filmed are from the neighborhood of Wilmington, which is a neighborhood in Los Angeles. I film my train videos usually in Wilmington and Long Beach, California. Every so often, I go elsewhere to film trains, such as Fontana. I film trains um, in the east of Chinatown, and I film trains by Pico and Flower, where the Los Angeles Metro Blue Line and Expo Line station is. And yeah, just about it. Thank you for your question, Rain Regime. Next question is from Citrus Aviation, a professional Ralphin HD. Shout out to him. He asks, how long have I been on YouTube? What Ralphin spot that you haven't spotted at would you like to spot at? And what locomotive that you haven't seen or been on would you like to be on? So the answer to the first question, I've been on YouTube since June 2nd, 2014. I've been more. That means I've been over one. It's been over 1.5 years of me on YouTube. I'm getting closer to 2 years. Yes, your second question. There's a lot of places where I would like to rail fan. I would say I would like to rail fan the Amtrak Surfliner and Metrolink Coastline, which is the passenger railroad lines that run by the Pacific Ocean. It's a pretty scenic route, actually. I would like to one day actually ride the train. But yeah, it's a pretty scenic route, and I would like to film there because I wanna like show you guys what kind of scenic stuff you can find there. And it's nice to have the railroad run by the beaches too. Kind of something you don't see too often, given that most of the states aren't by coastline, by coast areas. Thank you for your question. My bad. The last question. A locomotive that I haven't been on that what I would like to be on. Let's see. Well, naturally, I've never been on a locomotive. So my first locomotive. It'd be nice if I were to be able to get on a heritage unit, either Union Pacific or Norfolk Southern heritage unit. Be nice to see what it looks like from inside. And considerably, because Union Pacific is one of the main railroads that run in this area. Probably like to see the inside of Union Pacific 1988 or 1982. So hopefully you answered your questions. Thank you for your questions. Okay. So, the next question is from Train Shack Productions. Shout out to Train Shack Productions. His question is, what trains do I like the most? Practically, I pretty much like every single trains. Like, see, passenger, freight, intermodal, your double stack trains. As for the one I like the most, the ones I like the most are ones that include foreign power, such as, well, for me, foreign power or locomotives that come from different areas, such as Norfolk Southern or CSX locomotives. Yeah, I really like seeing trains with that kind of with locomotives from different areas, especially if they don't operate in my area. As for the cargo, I like both passenger and freight trains as well as intermodal. I really couldn't pick a favorite, honestly. But thank you for your question. Um, so I got a question from D Girls Honey. Shout out to D Girls Honey. Um, so yeah, his question. Well, I don't know if it's a he or she, but the question is, how long did it take you to reach 1,000 subs? And also, what are some of the difficulties you faced with your channel before getting to where you are now? So, it took me about it took me over a year to get 1,000 subscribers. I got him in by the end of February this year, so it's about should be about a year and almost a year and 3 months. That's how long it took. Difficulties I faced. I faced getting a couple of negative comments on my videos. I also got a bunch of dislikes. And more recently, I've been having issues with subscribers. They just randomly unsubscribe. I've been having issues with that too. So, but I'm still pushing. I'm still trying my best to push forward, regardless of the difficulties. And although it does hurt me at times, but there's not much we can do about it. It's the way it works. But thank you for your question. Thank you for asking. The next questions come from MB Videos Presents. Shout out to MB Videos Presents. He asks, do you like to travel to see new trains? What's your favorite form of transportation? And am I always going to be right about not being available 85% most times? The answer to the first question. Sure, I like travel to see new trains. Of course, I can't really travel that much, but like I can't travel too far away because of expenses and stuff. But yes, definitely, I like to travel to see new trains that I haven't seen yet. For example, there's one of those times when I was going to Fontana, I saw an HLCX locomotive. I never seen one before until then. I couldn't film it though, sadly, but yeah, it's one of those locomotives that for me was new, but obviously it's not actually new. So, my favorite form of transportation is car, and and aside from car, it would be bus or train. Those are my favorite types. Your third question. This question is regarding my availability on Google Hangouts. I would say yes. For the most part, I won't be available in Google Hangouts because I have a busy schedule. But there are times when I could talk in Hangouts, but I usually can't. So, thank you for your question. Same B Videos presents. Hope you answer those answer your questions. And although I did answer this question although I answered this question in the reply to this person, NS Trains, shout out to NS Trains. He asked, "Are you gonna be making more channel announcements? And where do you make these train videos?" Well, actually, I only answered one of the questions in the reply, but channel announcements I will probably make only when important things come up, such as for example, if I'm not gonna be online for a couple of days, I'm probably gonna announce that. If I have some important news to talk about, such as, or if I have like for example, if I get like requests for for an announcement about like a certain user who needs support, I will do that. I'll make announcements then. And perhaps every so often I'll make shout out videos. And the other question, the answer is I make my train videos in Wilmington and Long Beach, California, and every so often I make them elsewhere. Thank you for your questions. Let me just load the questions up. So the next questions are from Diego Lucero Productions. Shout out to Diego Lucero Productions. He asks, why do I upload older videos, and why do I go rail finding when I really need to, and who was my first subscriber? And also, can I have a shout out? Yes, can I have a shout out, Diego Lucero? I give you a shout out. So the answer to your first question, I upload older videos because when I started my YouTube channel, I used to upload my videos chronologically. I would upload them in sequence of date taken. So, for example, if you go to see my uploads playlist on my channel and go down to the bottom, you'll see that for the first 90 videos or so, the videos are arranged in order of date. But after that, I decided to kind of mix them up because I was having difficulty uploading some of the older videos because of length, and because obviously their file type is HD, so it's pretty good quality. That takes a long time to upload. But lately I've been uploading older videos because I've been having the time to upload them, and also because I wanted to see some of the videos I haven't posted yet that are from older time. There's your second question of why do I go rail finding when I really need to. I don't really tend to consider it as a necessity. It's more like a hobby for me. And I do it because I like trains, and there's a lot of people who like trains. I like to film and record them, not only so I can remember the train that I saw and have it in video, but also to share it with you guys, so that you can see the trains that I see. So that's pretty much why I do it. And who was my first subscriber? The very first subscriber, first subscriber. My first subscriber was Millennium Force. Believe it or not, it was Millennium Force. And so, thank you for your questions, Diego Lucero Productions. D-Girls Honey, he asked if they could have a shout out. I already gave you a shout out, D-Girls Honey. Here it is again. Shout out to D-Girls Honey. Look. Shout out request from Doing Things the Cat Way. So shout out to Doing Things the Cat Way. Thank you for requesting your shout out. We have a question from Randy King. He asks, why did you start a YouTube channel? The main reason I started my YouTube channel was to share my videos, basically. To share the videos I filmed, the trains, and more lately of the places I go, of cool things I see. That's pretty much why I started my YouTube channel, to share videos and so that people could see them and comment on them. Thank you for your question, Randy King. Shout out to you also. Next question is from Crystal Munford. She asks, what is my favorite color or colors? My favorite color is blue, especially the light blue. Also like green, orange, red, and black. Those are my favorite colors. Thank you for your question, Crystal. And the last question is from Train Productions by I Love 57H35. Shout out to him also. he asks, where do you want a real fan if you go to China or anywhere international, which is anywhere outside of the U.S. I haven't really researched on China that much, so I'm not really certain where I would like to real fan in China. But as long as there's a place where there's some like a main line and lots of trains, I would like to rough in that area of China. Elsewhere that's outside of the U.S., I would like to rough in Korea also. Considerably the area of Seoul, South Korea. Seoul, South Korea. I saw some videos of railroad crossing with Korean locomotives, and I would like to rough on there also. So thank you for your question, ST78. With that concludes the question and answers video. Thank you to everyone who requested a shout out, and to everyone who posted questions. Also, thank you for your support on my channel. I really appreciate it. I hope I answered your questions to the best of as best as possible. If you still have some more questions you would not like to ask me, feel free to ask. I won't probably make a Q&A video out of that unless I get like a high number of questions. But if I only get like very few ones, I'll just probably reply to you directly with the answer. But so thank you very much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm gonna try to add like the questions in the form of captions, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to. But I'll try, so you can also visually see the questions, and if possible even the answers. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. But bye, guys.